Black women, particularly, are the most educated demographic of people in the whole country. In 2023, that's an improvement because there were times where we weren't even allowed to go to school prior to, certain things being protected.
When were you not allowed to go to school? There were
women.
As a result of this segregation, they were creating black universities and things like that, which brought out the best in blacks then. And then the education that they were getting is much better than the education they're getting out of black schools because, black folks, they don't care. But the education was no good. And if you notice, the black women who are getting this so-called education is putting them on a false pedestal, and they think they're better than everybody. Now they're lonely, they're lost, they're angry, and nobody want to deal with them. So they got worse rather than getting better.
I completely disagree.
But educated women don't make for good wives and good mothers.
I completely disagree with that.
Why is that?
It's just not true. It's sexist. It's a lot of misogyny in there, and it's just not true.
What's not true about that?
Why does education stop you from being a good mother?
Because a woman that's educated, she thinks she's equal to a man. Because a woman that's educated thinks that she should work and not be at home raising his children and clean, keep the house going and things like that. And educated women don't care about the children. They're going to throw them off in a daycare center just so they can get their ego fulfillment. So they don't really make for good wives and good mothers.
Yeah, I completely disagree with that. My mother was very educated. She went to school. She raised me well. So now I, too, have a master's degree. I have my pick of the litter. There are plenty of men that want me. I can guarantee you that. And I have my own business, so it works.
But not,
are you saying that women who have an education can't raise their kids?
Right.
Why?
Because they're on an ego trip. They try to go to prove that they're like a man. Well, why get married if you don't love your husband, your children enough to stay home and watch over his children?
I don't even want children, so
you don't want children?
Be married with my husband, traveling the world, and living my best life.
So why get married then? Right?
I was raised by a married woman.
But she didn't stay home.
So?
Right? She didn't stay home and raise you. I rest my case. You get divorced while you were young?
Yeah.
While you were still living at home?
Correct.
Oh, I thought you said you were raised by both parents.
For a little bit. Then I got
you weren't raised by both parents. See, I told you, educated women don't make for good wives and good mother. And now you're an adult. If you got married, number one, you're not going to obey your husband. Number two, you don't want to have children. There's no reason to get married.
To you.
Or you can party by yourself like that. You have friends, and you can take your male friends with you and everything.
To you.
Isn't that right? So she got married. She should obey her husband and stay home and raise his children.
I believe she should do whatever she wants. That's what I believe.
Not what he wants.
Correct.
What do you believe? Do you personally believe that a woman should obey her husband?
I don't like the word obey.
You don't like the word obey, you say?
Yeah, obey sounds, again, I believe women are equal to men, so we're just going to disagree on that.
And so what's wrong with the word obey?
Because obey sounds like an authority.
It is. A dictator.
Yeah, and my husband
should supposed to dictate in the home.
Completely disagree.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you a Christian?
Yeah, I grew up Christian.
Well, Christ said that a woman should obey her husband. Was he wrong too?
Sure.
Christ was wrong?
Yeah.
The guy you believe in was wrong when he said that?
Sure.
Amazing.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us the truth, 100% truth, according to the Bible. And citations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad across the four corners of the earth. Once again, this is going to be a quick hit, basically going into, Eve, man, all right, and how foolish, she is, man, all right, for basically saying that she doesn't have to obey the Lord, man. All right. So without further ado, let's get some scriptures in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sotted children. They have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. All right. And who's the Lord's people? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. All right. 2/3 of the children of Israel, okay, which consists of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, are sottish children, man. All right. Sottish goes into being stupid. All right. Because the mass majority of our people are stuck on stupid. All right. This is why they're sitting on these podcasts and saying stupid things like they don't have to obey the Lord, which At some point, everybody has to obey somebody, man. All right, all right. And um, this woman here does not know that. Why? Because she's prideful. Can't nobody tell her shit. And that's why it says this in the book of Proverbs, the 9th chapter and the 13th verse, man. All right. You know, it could, but to finish breaking it down, it says they are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. All right. So she lacks the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Why? Because of Job chapter 9. Salakia. Let's get that first. In the book of Job, Job chapter 39, verse 17, it says, because the Most High hath deprived her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. You see? All right. And you know, us being the Lord's woman, first and foremost, okay? You know, Israel being likened into a comely and delicate woman. All right, I think it's just in the Jeremiah, the 6th chapter, roughly paraphrased, and I could be wrong, but we have to obey our husband. All right, okay, and the same applies to the woman. All right, okay, but she doesn't know that. Why? Because what I just read. All right, the Most High deprived her of wisdom, neither had he imparted her any understanding. So the scriptures tell the wise, if they learn anything, they should learn it at home. All right, from their husbands. All right, you see. All right, but as you can see, the woman in the video said that she doesn't want a husband. She don't, you know, or she basically don't need a husband. All right, because you know you're just a male counterpart in the house if your woman is not obeying you, man. All right, which goes into you know, being submissive. All right, and I think it's in Ephesians, the 5th chapter. It says the wives submit to your husbands as if as in the Lord, roughly paraphrasing. All right, because the man is your Lord, but the woman don't know that. Why? Because it tells you this in the book of Proverbs, chapter 9, verse 13. It says, a foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and know of nothing. And as you can see in this podcast, in this clip, all right, she don't know shit, man. All right. Why is that? Because she hasn't been taught. Okay. And why is that? Is because she's out of water. Okay. The scriptures say all things working in decency and in order. Right. And why is she out of water? Because she is not. She does not like the word obey, and that is because she does not want to apply, okay, that word obey, all right, which goes into her obedience, her being submissive, which goes into the actual definition of a woman. You see, she is a servant, all right, okay, but she's, you know, in the video she looks at it like as a slave, man. No, you are subject unto a higher power, just like everybody, just like we all are, man. All right, but and that's why it says this in the book of First Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is a Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of a Mashiach is the Most High. So we all have to obey somebody, man. All right. Okay. You can't go along thinking that you can live life your own way in disobedience, and that Alistair Crawford doest thou will spirit. You see, that's going to get you destroyed. Why? Because you can't go in life doing things your own way. All right, which goes into free will, man. There's no such thing as free will. You see, every all power everybody is subject unto the higher power, man. You see? All right. Um, but Eve is rebellious. Eve is stiff neck. All right, and she's out of order, man. You see, and this is why it says this in what is that, Deuteronomy? I think it's Deuteronomy 21. Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 21. Verse 4. It says, and the elders of that city shall bring down Salakia. Deuteronomy 21 and 18. It says, if a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father, all right? And this applies to the women as well, okay? It says, when they have chastened him, will not hearken unto them. All right, so basically, if you have a rebellious son or daughter that is not obeying the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, okay? The scripture says that you spare the rod, you spoil the child. You see? All right. So the Lord is with discipline, man. All right. Physically disciplining your child, man. You see? So that's why it says when they have chastened him, okay, after they done whooped his ass and he's still not gonna listen, will not hearken unto them, then what's gonna happen? Verse 19, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of the city and unto the gate of his place. And they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. Verse 21, and all the men of the city shall stone him with stones. He shall die. So shall they put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and shall fear. All right. So this is lawful, man. Okay. All right. To enforce discipline and obedience into the children. All right. Okay. And as you can see, this place is totally contrary to these laws here. All right. This is why things are out of order, man. This is why you have women on these podcasts that are just totally disobedient and rebellious. Okay. And why is that, man? Is because it hasn't been instilled in them. Okay. And what's that? To obey the voice of their father and their mothers. You see. So let's get Deuteronomy chapter 13. Deuteronomy chapter 13. Salakia. Ezekiel chapter 9. Verse 4. Okay. Because the scriptures tell you how the ones that are not obedient, how they're going to receive this understanding. All right. And in Second Ezra, but first I'm going to read Ezekiel 9 for those who simply don't want to receive this understanding. So it says, I'll start at verse 4. It says, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem. All right, Jerusalem being a people before a place, and set a mark upon the forehead of the men that sigh and that cry of all the abominations that are done in the midst thereof. All right, and that mark, when you go into the word, it goes into the wa, meaning to be exempt from judgment. You see, so it says, of the men that sigh and that cry of all the abominations that are done in the midst thereof. And who's that are sighing and crying? Those that are pushing the truth, man. Pushing peace, these prophecies, man. All right? Those that are Lord willing, the hopefully elect. You see? All right? Those are the men, okay, that the death angel is going to pass over. You see? All right? So, okay, and why is that? Because we are the ones that are crying out to our Heavenly Father, okay, to save us, man. All right, from out of the hands of our enemies and all they that hate us. All right, you see. Continuing on, it says, verse 5. And to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin in my sanctuary. Then they begin at the ancient men which were before the house. You see? So the Lord, is about to start slaughtering motherfuckers, man. All right? And he is no respecter of persons. All right? And he mentioned women a couple times, man. So that lets you know that he don't give a fuck about you being no female, man, no woman, man. You see? You either gonna do what the Lord say, or you gonna fall, man. All right. Like in that the Lord say you gonna get down, or you gonna lay down, and that's what's gonna happen, man. To a lot of you disobedient children, man, that don't want to hearken unto the voice of your father and your mother, man. All right, you're about to see the end result of what happens to a disobedient children, man. All right, everybody is about to witness, okay, the last time that you're going to deny the Lord. So before I go any further, I'm gonna read verse 6. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin in my sanctuary. Then they begin at the ancient men which were before the house. All right, so they're going to what? Jacob's trouble, man. All right, because Jacob's trouble is going into 2/3 of the children of Israel. Zechariah 13:8. 2/3 must be cut off and die, and the mass majority of that 2/3 is you women. All right, that's why it says in that Isaiah 32:9, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Many days and years ye shall be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird up sackcloth upon your loins. Shalom.